Hemel Stags 20, All Golds 32, and I'm joined with Lee. You must be a very relieved head coach after that.
Oh, definitely. There were a couple of points in the game where you're thinking we're going to struggle here. Obviously, we didn't do too much wrong in the first half, to be honest. We found ourselves 16 points to 8 down, and I don't think we missed a tackle. We scored 2, but didn't kick our goals, and they scored 2 kick tries. So we talked about defending their kicks in the second half, and they only scored the 1 try then. But I thought his defence overall were quite good. We knew this was going to be tough. Hemel have found a bit of confidence with the last couple of performances where they've nearly pulled off some results, and they're a full set of Yorkshire lads. We've said this before, they're a full set of lads who've been playing the game since they were kids. So at some points of the game today where just a little bit of game smartness came in, their players were probably more smarter than ours, purely just from playing the game and the natural instinct. So we do find ourselves struggling at times because of that, but that doesn't mean I'd swap any of our guys for them. Our guys have got a lot of heart. The effort and the things they take on board and listen to from the coaching staff is admirable, and I knew once we put a little bit of pressure on them we'd get over the line for a couple ourselves. And I think we deserved it. Yeah, it was hard work, but it was never not going to be. Hemel's a really tight pitch, and it was always going to be tough in these conditions as well for both sets of players. And I thought they both put a real old shift in there. It must have been mid-30s. It felt like mid-30s degrees temperature on the sideline, so the players must have felt it. So a good effort. People are probably looking at this thinking maybe Hemel are getting the first win, but we've come here on the back of a couple of hide-ins, and we've picked ourselves up, and we've got the result we wanted.
That must give you a lot of confidence that the last couple of weeks, although we've played probably 2 teams that will look to, if not get promoted, certainly finish inside that top 4, and we were heavily beaten, but to come down today and just forget it, really, wasn't it? And 16-8 down or whatever we were, we could have, on a day like today, we could have called it a day, couldn't we?
I don't think you're going to get that from this team, to be honest. We've worked too hard from sort of early December just to let results go. Obviously a couple of the score lines from the last couple of weeks could look like that, but I don't think again there's been a lack of effort in those games. It's just been we've run up against 2 really good teams, and you can tell from the scores that they're putting on other teams around us as well. It's not just us that are getting beat heavily by some of these teams. So coming today, obviously when you've lost a couple of games heavily, you don't feel great about yourself, but those games are different. They're all different challenges in this league, and we came as a fresh sort of start again today, as we will do next week against Oxford. And we just wanted to get a 1-point win today. That would have done us. I said that midweek. Obviously, at certain times when you're behind and when they get it back to 20-all, you think you're under the pump a bit. But a couple of boys have come with some good players there. We have got some good players on the side. We just need to string things together consistently through a game, not just for 3 or 4 minutes.
One of our big players and captain back to form today, Steve Parry's an important player for us, isn't he?
Yeah, he's moved around for the team last couple of weeks, played a bit of half back, and he gives his best wherever you're going to put him. But I just thought today, on the field you're playing on here and the sort of team Hemel are, I just knew that if we put him back in there, and we had a chat with each other before the game about what we wanted to see out of him, and then we set a couple of goals and he smashed those goals, and we were a handful every single time. He caused a lot of panic around the ruck, and he's a good quality player and really dangerous near the line. He's set the last one up for a fantastic bit of individual effort as well. So no, he's a good player, and he was back on form today.
A couple of good other performances as well. I mean, young Jack Mitchell, he puts in a good effort. He's as brave as they come, isn't he? Yeah,
again, Jack is a good, honest lad. He's still quiet and still finding his way in the game, but he's done a bit of fullback for us, half-back, and he's been really brave and sort of solid wherever he's been. Back in half-back today, and you can never question his heart and determination. His defence is good, and he got himself on the end of a couple of players as well. So there's development in everyone, really. There's plenty of improvement in all our individuals, but again, I can't knock the attitude and enthusiasm from today.
Finally, next week it's another game against a southern team, Oxford, and they'll be looking to bounce back after a heavy defeat today against Newcastle.
Yeah, I won't again read anything into that because we've been beaten by Newcastle heavily as well. So I don't really look at those performances or results. We take it as its own individual game, and it's 2 southern teams similar to today. They'll have a good bunch of lads who are based in training Yorkshire, and that'll give us a tough test of lads that have played the game again since they were kids. So, you know, although it's two southern clubs, it's not quite the same as how we run things, but Oxford have got their own way, and you can't say it hasn't worked for them. They've picked up some good results this year. But we're back at home, and we want to get, we've probably given in some poor performances and results at home in recent games, and we want to turn that around then next week.